Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Fatih Aziz. We are from the group of 4 Phonetic and Phonology. We will present in the form of a video with the material rhythm and word stress in English. The member group of 4 is Ahmad Firmansyah, Ahmad Ismail, Dwi Ratnasari, Fatih Aziz, Fatima Aurelin Sigwandi, and Sukmawati. Here's the explanation. Okay, first, the rhythm of English. Rhythm is sense of movement in speech which is marked by stress, timing, and quantity of syllables. Spoken English words with 2 or more syllables have different stress and length patterns. The rhythm of English is based on the contrast of stress and unstressed syllables in regular interval. With the stress falling within content words, the stress syllables of the content create beats. The beats of the following sentence fall on the words I like and the second syllable of Columbia. Columbia. Jadi ritme itu adalah makna gerakan dalam tutur kata yang ditandai oleh stres ya, waktu dan jumlah suku kata. Kata bahasa Inggris yang diucapkan dengan 2 suku kata atau lebih memiliki tekanan dan pola panjang yang berbeda. Ritme bahasa Inggris didasarkan pada kontras dari suku kata yang stres dan tidak menekankan dalam interval yang teratur, dengan tekanan-tekanan yang jatuh dalam kata-kata konten. Suku kata yang stres menghasilkan ketukan kalimat seperti tadi ya, I like. Jadi pada pertengahan, jadi bundaran kedua itu ditekan I like, and the second syllable Columbia. Jadi pada saat baca Lombia itu ada sebuah penekanan. Okay, so the words that have the most stress in English are called content words. Content words are usually the nouns, verb, adjective, adverb, and pronouns, or demonstrative, possessive, reflexive, and interrogative. These words are important to express the main meaning of the sentence. For example, the nouns Sam, chair, happiness, and etc. The verb read, love, dance, and etc. Adjective red, big, strong, and etc. Adverb nicely, patiently, equally, yesterday, wise, and etc. The negative words not, never, neither, and etc. The modals should, could, might, and etc. but not will and can. Yeah. Yes and no in short answer, quantifiers, and some, many, no, all, 1, 2, 3, and etc. Okay, the last is function words. Function words are these words that are weaker and shorter. They include auxiliary verb, preposition, conjunction, determiners, and possessive adjective. These words are less important in expressing the meaning of the sentence. Yeah, for example, auxiliary verb are, was, has, could, would, and etc. The preposition at, on, to, near, and etc. The conjunction and, so, but, not, however, and etc. The determiners a, and, the, some, any, and etc. The pronouns I, you, she, him, us, ours, and etc. Example, I want my brothers to win. I want my brother to win. I want my brother to win.
Okay, thank you. English word stress, is it entirely random? In English, however, the stressing or relaxing may appear to be arbitrary rather than following certain stress rule. The spelling does not indicate a word is pronunciation. Let alone its stress. Moreover, the stress may even differ within the same word. Thus, 13 can be stressed on the last syllable, but in an environment of another words, 13 pins, it can also be pronounced with prominent first syllable in order to keep ear timing.
Okay, thank you so much for the time. And now I would like to explain to you all about English word stress and some general principles. Jadi, penekanan kata dalam bahasa Inggris dan prinsip secara umum. Jadi, prinsip secara umum dalam penekanan bahasa Inggris itu ada 4 ya. Prinsip yang pertama itu the and past principle. Is that the placement of primary stresses in English words is calculated by counting from the end of the word. Jadi intinya, and past principle itu meletakkan primary stress atau tekanan utama dalam kata bahasa Inggris itu di akhir kata. Nah, di akhir kata itu bisa di final syllable, di akhir suku kata, contohnya begin, gain, itu ditekan primary stress di akhir suku kata, kemudian atau di penultimate second last syllable atau di kedua akhir suku kata, contohnya revelation, revelation, lay itu kan ditekan di kedua akhir, kemudian or the antepenultimate third last syllable atau di ketiga akhir suku kata, contohnya photography. Ta itu ditekan berletak di ketiga akhir. Atau juga bisa lebih awal sih, contohnya blackbird. Kemudian yang prinsip yang kedua itu the rhythmic principle. Is that while it is possible for English word to end with as many as 4 unstressed syllables as in ungentlemanliness. Ya, jadi dalam bahasa Inggris itu mungkin ya diakhiri dengan 4 suku kata yang tidak di-stress, tidak ditekan. Seperti contoh gentlemanliness. Tapi, English word cannot begin with more than one unstressed syllable. Kata bahasa Inggris itu tidak bisa didahului lebih dari satu suku kata yang tidak di-stress. Otomatis hanya bisa didahului dengan satu suku kata yang tidak di-stress. Kenapa? Karena kalau didahului dengan dua suku kata yang tidak di-stress, nanti muncul troic food. Troic food tahu kan? Dua suku kata yang tidak di-stress kemudian bertemu dengan stress itu dry food. Kemarin udah ada di poetry kalau kalian masih ingat. Contohnya aja langsung. Contohnya itu Japanese yang berasal dari Japan. Jadi pada kata Japan ini sebelum dirubah itu kan primary stress-nya itu kan di pan. Kemudian setelah dirubah primary stress-nya pindah ke is di akhir Japanese. Nah, tapi kalau Japanese itu kan dua suku kata pertama Japan itu kan nggak bisa di unstress semua sehingga dikasih secondary stress pada kata pertama ja. Jadinya nanti majanya agak ditekan itu ja. Japanese. Kenapa? Karena tadi lagi untuk menghindari dry food itu rhythmic principle pada prinsipnya seperti itu. Kemudian next slide please. Oke, untuk prinsip yang ketiga itu the derivational principles come into play. There is a tendency to place the secondary stress on the syllable which had primary stress in the deriving word. Jadi prinsip derivational dalam word stress ini adalah meletakkan secondary stress atau tekanan yang secondary itu pada suku kata yang tadinya memiliki primary stress pada deriving word, pada kata yang sebelum di-derive. Langsung aja contohnya ini. Characterization, itu kan berasal dari kata characterize. Nah, pada kata characterization itu kan secondary stressnya itu pada ke, diletakkan di ke. Nah, diletakkan di ke. Jadi ke pada kata characterize itu kan memiliki primary stress. Dan setelah di characterization, secondary stressnya itu diletakkan pada ke. Pada kata yang memiliki primary stress. Primary stress itu kan di ke, kemudian setelah dirubah diletakin secondary stress karena primary stressnya pada characterization itu udah pada di zation. Kemudian langsung aja yang keempat prinsipal itu the stress clash avoidance principle, which states that one should try to avoid having two adjacent stress levels. Intinya stress clash avoidance principle itu adalah menghindari dua stress syllable yang bersebelahan. Jadi nggak bisa nih dalam bahasa Inggris itu dua suku kata yang distress, yang ditekan itu secara bersebelahan, runtut, tidak ada pemisah, itu tidak bisa. Contohnya itu characterization Japanese, ini Japanese, Japan. Tadi kan sudah dibahas ya, Japanese itu kan primary stressnya itu kan di knees, di akhir. Kemudian secondary stressnya itu di ja, nggak di pa. Karena kalau kita ikut yang definitional principle, nanti secondary principle-nya itu terletak pada di pe. Kenapa? Karena pen itu kan tadinya memiliki primary stress kan pada kata Japan, sehingga secondary principle-nya itu diletakkan di pe. Tapi karena itu nggak bisa ya, Japanese itu kan nggak bisa, harus di avoid, harus dihindari, sehingga secondary principle-nya itu diletakkan di ja gitu. Makanya ini penting juga. Dan juga prinsip keempat ini sering juga bekerja sama dengan rhythmic principle. Rhythmic principle itu tadi dua suku kata di awal itu tidak bisa unstress semua, sehingga dikasih secondary stress di awal. Itu. Terima kasih.
Okay, now I'm going to explain about word stress in morphologically simple words. So, what is a simple word? Simple word means word which contains no prefixes or suffixes. For example, clever and export. And then let us distinguish lexical category and non-lexical category. Lexical category include nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. And the non-lexical category include prepositions, determiners, pronouns, and the conjunction and. Words of a non-lexical category often referred to as function words, and they normally are not stressed. Okay? And among the words of lexical category, primary stress placement may vary depending on the syntactic category of the word. Jadi, non-lexical kategori ini biasanya nggak ditekankan. Jadi tidak ada penekanan di dalam kata yang termasuk non-lexical kategori. Sedangkan lexical kategori ini dia ditekankan dan primary stress placement-nya ini bervariasi. Tergantung sama syntactic category of the word-nya gitu. Okay, next. Okay, simple word itu ada bisyllabic words sama polysyllabic words. Nah, bisyllabic words itu dia terdiri dari 2 syllables. Sedangkan polysyllabic words more than 2 syllables. Nah, bisyllabic words include nouns, adjectives, adverbs sama verbs. Nah, untuk yang noun sama adjective biasanya itu ditekankan di awal atau syllable pertama. Sedangkan verbs itu biasanya ditekankan di second syllable gitu. Nah, bisyllabic nouns contohnya table, T-nya ini stress. Terus bisyllabic adjective contohnya happy, happy-nya di sini dia stress. Terus bisyllabic adverb contohnya very, where di sini dia stress. Bisyllabic verbs, contohnya suspect. Pack-nya ini dia stress. Nah, kalau suspect di sini misal kedudukannya jadi nouns, berarti sus-nya ini yang jadi stress, yang ditekankan itu sus-nya. Gitu. Oke. Polysyllabic words. Nah, contoh polysyllabic juga include nouns, adjectives, sama verbs. Contoh nouns yaitu February. Feb di sini is stressed. Nah, and then polysyllabic adjectives, contohnya opposite. Di sini, dalam kata opposite ini is stressed. Polysyllabic verbs contohnya examined. Di sini dia stress.
Now we move to word stress assignment and morphological structure. English has both suffixes as in sorted with the ed suffix and prefixes as in indirect with the prefix in. Let's begin with suffixes. This may be subdivided into inflectional and derivational suffixes. The addition of an inflectional suffix is often said to produce a different form of the word one would have if the suffix had not been added. For instance, when the suffix ing is added to the verb obscure, the resulting word obscuring, as in he is obscuring the issue, is said to be a form of that verb. When the plural suffix is added to the noun tractor, the resulting word tractors is a form of that noun. Inflectional suffixes are not stressed and have no effect on words stressed in English words. As can be seen from pairs such as refuge, refuges, command, commented, develop, developing, furnish, furnishes. But when a derivational suffix is added to a word, it is said to produce not a different form of the same word, but another word. Thus, when the suffix "ly" is added to an adjective, say bold, the result, the adverb boldly, is a distinct word. Now we're gonna talk about stress-neutral suffixes. The adverbial suffix "ly", as in the word brightly, the stress does not shift when the suffix is added to the monosyllabic adjective from which the adverb is derived. The resulting adverb is a polysyllabic word with the basic trochaic pattern for polysyllabic words that's called antepenultimate stress. However, the primary stress will fall earlier than the antepenultimate syllable if the deriving adjective has primary stress on its antepenultimate syllable or earlier. Note that adjectives such as comfortable and idle, which have a syllabic L as in idle, will lose a syllable when "ly" is added. Idly is pronounced idly. The native Germanic adjectival suffixes such as as, ish, full, less, y also have no effect on stress, so when they are added to monosyllabic roots, the result is a trochaic stress pattern as in green, greener, green, greenest, green, greenish, hop, hopful, mind, mindless, slime, slimy. When these stress-neutral suffixes are added to bisyllabic words with the basic trochaic stress pattern, the result is an antepenultimate stress pattern, as in heavy, heavier. Where a syllabic consonant is possible in the deriving word, example bubble, a syllable is lost when y is added, as in bubble, bubbly. There is a stress-neutral native Germanic er suffix which can be used to form nouns from verbs, as in advertise, advertiser. There are Latinate suffixes which fail to shift stress. The adjective forming bisyllabic suffix able, as in debatable. When able is added to the morphemes debate, the stress does not shift. The result is an adjective with antepenultimate primary stress. If able is added to a word which does not have primary stress on the final syllable, such as manage, The result is a word with primary stress placed prior to the antepenultimate syllable, manageable. Now we move to stress-shifting suffixes. Among the stress-shifting derivational suffixes, we may distinguish between those on which the primary stress falls and those which shift the stress within the base form to which the suffix is attached. The suffixes e, ear, and is all take primary stress, as in employ, employee, mountain, mountainer, and computer, computeres. The stress-shifting suffixes which do not themselves take primary stress are it and ic, as in personal, personality, individual, individuality, atom, atomic, monarchic. The stress in a word shifts as a result of the addition of a stress-shifting suffix. This can have the effect of changing the pronunciation of the vowel in the affected syllable. In the word personal, the final syllable in the al suffix has a schwa vowel, while in personality, the antepenultimate syllable, again in the al suffix, has an a vowel, since that syllable bears primary stress in personality. The last one is word stress patterns and prefixes. Most separable monosyllabic prefixes bear secondary stress. If the prefix is removed, we are left with an existing English word, as in the verb reallocate. Secondary stress on bisyllable prefixes, as in antibacterial. Primary stress on bisyllable prefixes, as in antihero.
Compound words secara sederhana adalah kata-kata yang terdiri dari dua kata atau lebih yang bukan mengandung base dan affix. The compound stress rule dalam Inggris mengatakan dari dua part compound terdiri dari dua elemen dan elemen pertama adalah yang paling prominent atau yang paling menonjol. Dua kata compound ini memiliki pola yang berlawanan dengan two-word phrase, seperti frasa kata benda blackbird atau seekor burung yang berwarna hitam. Phrase kata sifat seperti very tall, frasa kata pekerja seperti kissed Mary, frasa kata keterangan seperti very slowly, dan frasa preposisi seperti in the London. Contoh compound yang memiliki pola tegangan yang sama dengan compound dengan elemen pertama yang paling prominent adalah atom bomb, backdrop, blackbird, car park, classroom, comeback, corkscrew, dark room, dragonfly, filing cabinet, flower bed, flower pot, grammar school, handshake, high school, makeup, place name, social life, sex life, snowstorm, steamboat, textbook, and woodpecker. Selanjutnya adalah exceptions to the compound stress rule atau pengecualian compound stress rule. Yang pertama, two-part place names seperti Botany Bay, Buckingham Palace, East Anglia, Los Angeles. Yang kedua, compound dengan elemen kedua partisipatif atau compound with a participle second element yang berakhiran in, ed, in, or ing. Contohnya bare-faced, big-eared, big-head, broken-hearted, cake-hand. Yang ketiga, compound di mana part pertama mengungkapkan terbuat dari apa objek itu. Atau compound in which the first part expresses what the object is made from. Contohnya apple pie. brick wall, cotton sock, ham sandwich, iron filling. Dan yang keempat, compound di mana beberapa jenis posisi konkret atau abstrak terlibat. Compound in which some kind of concrete or abstract positioning is involved. Contohnya, April showers, Christmas break, evening meal, middle class, second grade, winter holiday. Yang kelima, compound derived are two-part color word, atau compound yang merupakan kata warna dua bagian. Contohnya, dark green, deep yellow, light green, pale blue. Dan yang terakhir, compound yang berasal dari frasa kata kerja. Contoh compound nouns dari frasa kata kerja yaitu talk out dari talk out, hang around dari hang on, passerby dari pass by, washing up dari wash up, dan compound kata sifat berasal dari frasa kata kerja. Contohnya, finish off dari finish off, knock out dari knock out, bear down dari bear down, roll up dari roll up, dan wrap up dari wrap up.
Okay, that's a video presentation from our group 4. We apologize if there are many mistakes in the explain of material. We group 4 thank you very much for watching this video to the end. Hopefully you can understood the contents of the presentation video review from group 4. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.